It's a little bit drafty out there this evening, but as we wrap up 2016, I want to talk about one of those hidden treasures that we never talk about. I'm going to talk a little bit about cases and what's their importance and their values. So we're going to look at a couple of pros and cons between some of Fender's most precious cases that have been distributed over the years. We're going to look at the Fender molded case. We're going to look at the ABS case, the SKB case, the TSA case, the Pro case, the Fender Tweed case, and several others that I find that are interesting to compare and contrast. But we're going to start with my favorite of them all, Fender's molded gloss finish Strat case. This came out with the American Strats as well as the Deluxe Strats over the years. This one came out in 2004 and I really enjoy this case. It's the only case in my collection that's got 4 locks and 4 switches. Underneath it's got great feet mounts and it's got a great lining around it, okay? So it's a nice sleek design. SKB also designed a case very similar to this, but this is my favorite of them all because this case seems to hold everything in the right place. It's unfortunate that this is discontinued, so even if I wanted to sell you one, I couldn't. But this case is excellent. It fits the Strat. Apparently it's supposed to fit the Telecaster as well. I've tried it on several occasions, but I feel that it's still most competent in the Strat style guitar. So this case is a great case because it's got the little insert and the little pocket inside. This case has lasted me since 2004 and it's been through storms. It's been through hail, rain, as well as forest fires, believe it or not. This case has it all. It's never rusted on me. If you look at the ceiling bevels, it's been through snow and nothing has ever rusted. It's very durable, and if you look close enough, there's no opening gaps between this thing. This is a solid thing. The only thing that's disappearing on this case is I wish it had a TSA lock. However, like Fender's most Pro cases or Tweed cases, none of them are TSA approved. So it makes no difference, I guess, at this point. The only problem with this case is I noticed that it never fits any of my 70s headstock cases. So if I have only a small Fender head, it's fine. However, when I put something that's a little bit fancier like this with the larger headstock, it never really fits quite as snug. That's the only problem I have with it. So as soon as I start pushing this in, it starts digging into the case. And because of that, I'm not able to secure my product as much as I'd like to. You can already see that the gap is starting to increase here due to the, I guess, the force of the lip that's adjusted. So I don't really trust my 70s headstocks in these kinds of cases. But another disadvantage is it can never hold a left-handed Strat in it, okay? So I'm going to move on to the TSA class case. It's very infamous and it's very popular. This case was distributed, I believe, from 2008, okay? This case is matte finish on the top and it's got the bevel on the sides too, so it's got a two-tone finish as well. The only difference is you can see that it's very heavy duty, these locks, okay? So you have to clip them in place, but nothing has ever fallen out of this, okay? If you ever were to go on a flight, it's perfect because it's TSA approved. It's the TSA 002, I believe, okay, which is a very popular model, okay? Any American Strat Tele will come with it. As you can see, I put in a Telecaster in here and it fits perfectly in this, okay? So it has the hole and the cavity so that you can put a Strat as well. Excellent case, okay? The only thing I notice about this case is it's a little bit unbalanced every time I hold it, okay? So when I'm walking across, sometimes it has an uneven weight distribution and taps me on the leg. That's the only thing that I feel, but this thing is pretty indestructible overall. This thing is about over $300 and Fender started replacing them since 2015, I believe, with this case, the ABS case. Still just as approved as TSA, okay? Great kind of case, and they've done some finishes. So if you look here very closely, you'll notice that this is actually made out of metal as well. Okay, I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, but it's designed in the same manner that this one is designed. Okay, the latches are a little bit sleeker, however, they're a little bit easier to fall out. Not in the sense that they fall out, but the sense that they need to be completely heard to clip. Okay, so I like the press, and then you can just lift, press, and lift. However, when it comes to closing, you need to really make sure that the guitar is secure. Otherwise, that expensive product in here could easily fall out, and I've seen it happen before. If you look at the case inside, the lining is beautiful. The fur is great, and it really insulates the guitar well. Now, this has no problem of fitting a 70s headstock, nor does it have any problem fitting a Lefty Strat. Here's a Lefty Strat, and the cavity is built in such a way that it can fit both. Nice and snug. That thing's not gonna move. It's the way a molded case should be designed. I'm very happy with this product, okay? This one is not as heavy duty, I would say, on the exterior as the original TSA, but for under $200, you cannot go wrong with that case. That case is great, especially the TSA option. I don't know how they make that case so durable. This is the infamous Fender Tweed case. Everyone loves the Tweed with two tones, two colors, okay? It's a great case. It's got the stitching, looks great cosmetically. Custom shop cases are the same. When they're opened inside, they have the V logo. Excellent case. I love the latches here. It opens like a briefcase, like you're doing something important, and you are doing something important. However, the only thing I don't like about this case is it never really holds my guitars nice and snug. It's like I gotta put a blanket or something here or a towel to keep it from moving. And even this, I find that there's too much space between the gap here that my neck is going to be sat on or pushed. If this case falls, I don't know how much security it's going to provide. However, everything is designed beautifully on this kind of a case, okay? All the lining, the orange, and this is a great case. They come out with this in alligator skin as well. I've seen them and they're very nice, okay? Now, the only thing I don't like about the exterior here is the handle. It can fall very easily because it's not weighted. Not like an ABS case, which is, look at that, it can stay straight the way it's supposed to be. Or like here, they stay straight. But these ones, they just are flimsy because there's no double joint like the TSA or the ABS case. This case has no difference from the Fender Pro Series case. It's the exact same case, except just the black, right? So this case will run you about $200, and the Tweed one will run you about $300. This is a great case, it's leather. As you can see, the only thing I don't like versus the Tweed case here is that it's very prone to getting scratches, nicks, you can see it. And once it starts falling out, like I keep this thing in the basement, and once you start leaving it there and there's weather conditions, this starts ripping. What are you gonna do? You gotta glue it back. The stitching also falls out a lot of the time, and it just starts constantly getting there. So the Tweed case doesn't have that because it's all stitched together, but it's the same thing, more essentially. All these parts are exactly the same. They're put in the exact same manner that they should be. Great case, but once again, it's moving. You gotta put a towel or something. So even though it's Fender, it doesn't seem like it's molded to what it should be. I love these latches though, they're pretty sleek. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to the case that I think was designed very well. Now, these cases are insulated. They're called injection molded cases. Jackson put out one and SKB put out one, okay? This is pre-era before Fender took over Jackson, okay? But these cases are great. Once again, they're TSA as well, 002, so it's the same product, but the lining is a little bit different inside. They do this injection molded style, so you can put a guitar that can fit right inside, and it doesn't matter the headstock because it's got enough space, okay? This case is built in a way that it's going to be airtight. Water, vapor, nothing's gonna go in there. Humidity is kept in the same routine that it should be. And this case is easily $350 right now or more, okay? It's a great case, and I wish Fender would do more cases like this as opposed to just licensing them to SKB, okay? So this case is identical to this one, but this is the Fender version of it. Well, not the Fender version, but the version that any Fender guitar can fit in. It's the same thing, TSA 002 as you can see, but look at here, the bezels are kept close, and the SKB means that it's supported quality, okay? So like I said, this handle really stays flat and straight. It never moves, because look at the spindles on it. It holds nice and secure the way it's supposed to. The thing I love about this kind of a case is because you can put a 70s headstock in it, it's going to hold it nice and snug. The insulation in the fabric here keeps the neck from moving from both parts, from above and below. Underneath the neck and above the neck, it's held in a great position. Case is another $350. This is an excellent case, and it's quite sleek in the sense that you can stack another guitar on top because it has the holes, so you can keep them on a vertical edge lifting up. In my opinion, I think that for the value, the ABS case is something that Fender is going to make more of, and they're going to start selling them more at a more expensive price, because this case for under $200 is an excellent case. It has never cracked on the seals versus the original one, where sometimes any slight temperature change and this starts opening up and you can see the seals. I mean, this case is as secure as it gets. However, I still don't like to see the seals opening, and perhaps I'm just biased, but I really do like this case because the black, I feel, leaves the trimming as secure as it can be. I feel that it's almost like I feel that this part, this component here, is kept everything flush in that sense. So thank you everyone for coming in, and we're going to check you out after 2017.